Hello and welcome back for another video. In this one, I want to talk about how there's no perfect moment to start and to not fall into the trap of comparison and holding ourselves back because we're not good enough or not qualified enough, or XYZ person has so much more to offer, and so I just need to do more and learn more and grow more and prove myself more before I can offer what I'm meant to offer and before I can put myself out there and share my gifts with the world, because that is not true. You right now have the gifts you need. You have enough. You can start exactly where you are. And I want to speak to this from the lens of a feeling I've had around the coaching industry in particular, and all the resistance I've had to putting myself in there and going back to done for you services, because I felt like that was a safe place. That's a place where I know I've got skills I can deliver, and I don't have to prove myself to anyone, or I don't have to get anybody results, or all of these things that I've been telling myself that have blocked me from actually showing up and supporting people in the way I want to and in the way I know I'm really good at, because I've done it in the past. So I just admiring my gorgeous view in front of me. I wish I could actually show it to you. It is just so spectacular. Maybe I'll take a photo and put it over this video so you can just see what I'm looking at as I record this, because I've just got this stunning view of Mount Etna in the background, and it just inspires me so much. And that's the thing, like, nature just shows up. Nature doesn't need permission. Nature is just incredible, and it's there and it does its thing, and it's always there doing its thing. But that's not the point of this video. Anyway, I'm going to share something that I wrote today, because as usual, when I share the things that I've written, it's a lot more well articulated. And so the lens I'm looking through at the moment is from this perspective of feeling like I didn't have a place in the online coaching world. So a lot of the marketing out there, and I'm sure if you've spent any time online, you would be familiar with this and you've seen this. There's like this obsession with making money claims. And there's like this figure that seems to be like the golden figure in the coaching world these days, where there's this 20K months or 30K months or 50K months or 100K months. And it's like, I can't make sweeping claims of being able to help people do that because I haven't done that. And so there's always been this feeling of like, well, how am I ever going to be a good enough coach as all the other coaches, because I can't make these sweeping claims? And it's not that I've never experienced making this kind of money. I actually have. I did that in my affiliate marketing business, and I have had 10 and 20K months. And I've had 50K months in affiliate marketing. So it's not like I'm a stranger to making money, but it's never the reason that I got into coach, or like got into this online business world. And it's not what I want to use as my marketing message. And so I felt this real disconnect and like this feeling like, well, I can't compete in this world because everyone's fixated on money and everyone is just obsessed with the monetary claims. And what is my place then if I'm not here able to make these monetary claims and I don't want to do it? And it's not because I don't want money or don't believe in the value of money. It's just that I believe there's deeper reasons for why we're doing what we're doing. And I want people to come to me, not because I can just say, I'm going to make you XYZ amount of money, but because they genuinely resonate with what it is I do and the way I operate and how I want to see the world shifting. Like for me, our values are so much more important, and our alignment in how we operate in the world is so much more important. And this is something that I've really, really come back to in the recent weeks, since being back out in the world and exploring and just remembering what's important to me and reconnecting to these things that are really valuable to me and reconnecting to who I'm here for. Like, I kind of guess I lost my way in recent months because I was fixated on the money, because I was like, well, to be any value and to be noticed in this world, I need to make the money to prove that I'm worthy to help people. And since being back out in the world, I've just realized that's not true. That is not what I am here to do. That is not my message. And there is way more ways that I can speak to people and I can reach people. And in doing that, I'm having much deeper conversations and much more impact because people are like, oh my God, like the way you live life is so rich and so full, and I want that. And like that's that's the thing as well. Like I left corporate world because money wasn't satisfying me. Like, yes, I obviously see the good that money does in the world, but when it's the only thing we fixate on, and when we make that the reason we decide on things and the thing that drives us, then I feel like that's when we get led astray, and that's when we're not living from our heart, and that's when we're not living in alignment, and that's when we start to resent our work and attract clients that aren't necessarily aligned and experiences that aren't aligned because we're not living in accordance with our hearts and our values and our soul mission. So I'm going to read this post now because I'm going to go on tangents and I really want to actually get to the core of what I said here because I think it's really important. And it's actually something that has deeply hit me recently as well, since being back on this side of the world and being reconnected with the artists and the lovers and the ritualists and the magic. I'm just like, well, this is what I'm about. Like, this is what's really important to me. And so in a world that seems so fixated on monetary claims, I felt like I couldn't compete. I questioned, what do I have to offer if I can't help you make millions? But do you know what I have? I have a rich, expressive, full, unapologetic, exciting, adventurous lifestyle. I travel the world. I dance my heart out. I immerse myself in deeply poetic, artistic, ritualistic experiences. I put my heart on the line and love life and people all out. I have friends and lovers all over the world. We may not get to see each other all the time, but our love travels beyond time and space, and it's beautiful. And side note, do you know how many people have reached out to me and told me I should write a book? Do you know how many people my words inspire? And do you know how much more meaningful that is to me than having them put money in my bank account? If I know that I am impacting somebody to go out there and chase their dreams too, that is one of the most valuable things to me. So yes, I obviously want to make money and be able to make money to support myself to continue to live this lifestyle, but I don't want to do it by going against my values and going against what's really important to me. And to me, being able to live this rich, exciting lifestyle where I get to share stories and inspire people and like literally just like stare at Mount Etna in front of me and be moved to tears every morning because I am living this incredible lifestyle, and to go to bed at night on the phone to a lover who like it just really wants to connect with me, like that to me is so much more important. And I had lost that for a long time when I became fixated on money. And I truly believe money comes to us when we're in an abundant state, when we're in a receptive state, when we're moving with the current of life, and when we're trusting in our hearts and our missions. It has no choice but to come to us because we're operating at that frequency of, yes, I am so open to you. I'm so here for you. Show me how you want to move through me, and let's move through the world together. Like, it's a relationship that works when you're in communication with nature and when you're in that harmonious state. So I may not have the luxury brand. I may not jet set around in private jets. I may not be the picture of wealth and business success we see plastered all over social media, but I am rich in life experience and I will take that any day. I do not want to rush through life constantly chasing the next thing. I want to savor the moment, experience the succulence of a place, go deep, not just with people, but with places, with land, with culture. Like, I just want to soak up the richness of it and feel it like moving through my body. And that's what I feel when I'm here. It's just the land is vibrant and alive and it speaks through me and it moves through me and people feel that. And this is why I feel like I've had so much judgment towards the picture perfect lives all over Instagram, because to me, like, I don't want that. I don't resonate with that. Not because I don't think it's possible or because I'm rejecting it, but I just don't think it's real. And I think it's part of that system that I'm wanting to see crumble. Like, I want to live in community, and that's what I feel when I'm in Italy. Like, I just see the people all around me, the way they look out for one another and care for one another. And I was on a bus yesterday going to the beach, and this blind man walked on and he asked some questions for, like, someone helped him get on, and then he said to some people on the bus, can you tell me when to get off at this particular spot? And a few people were like, oh, we don't know where that is, like, and then there's all this commotion, and then Chinese whispers up the line, and then someone's going up to the driver saying, where's this stop? And then they're figuring it out, and then they're all coming back and telling him, and then another man decides he's going to get off with this man and change his plans for the day and help him out. And everyone just helps one another and gets involved with one another. And they're not just sitting there staring at their phones, blocking the world out. Like, there's genuine connection. And to me, this is so much more important. Humans connecting with other humans and not always making it about, you have to pay me this to be in my circle and you have to pay me this. Like, to me, there's just like this disconnect there and this exploitation of the human experience. And I think when I'm immersed in these places, when I feel these kind of things where it's just like everyone's sharing with one another and everyone's pooling resources and helping one another, like, to me, that is the meaning of life. And that's the kind of world I want to create together. And that's what I want to open up with my community spaces. Like, I want them to be collaborative spaces. And so this is why I read, because I go on tangents. But back to the point about Instagram, like, to me, that air of perfection, it feels shallow. It just feels like it's surface level and you don't get to go beneath the surface and really feel the person. And that to me is way much more important. Like, I don't care how much money you tell me you can make if you just care about me when I can pay to play at your table and you'll spit me out just as easily when I can't. That's not true connection. That's not true meaning. Like, the people that have really got my back and that have been there for me, it hasn't been that. It's been like, we're in this together. We've been through the muck. We've been through the mess. We've lived together and we're ride or die. And whether we're in the same time and place, it doesn't matter. Like, we can call on one another and we know we'll be there for one another. And this is why I travel slowly. It's why I leave things open-ended. It's why I often change my plans, because I want to let the mystery take hold. I want to allow space for life to lead me, for the magic to take over, and to let myself be moved by life and to fully open to it and just trust that where my heart is telling me to go is exactly where I need to be going. And at the same time, I want to feel supported. I've done that with the chaos of, like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm making money and I don't know how I'm going to support myself. And like literally last year, like being like, oh, I don't even know if I'm going to have anywhere to sleep tonight, but it all worked out. But this year I'm doing it on a much more stable way because I feel supported because I know my business is running, which is why I do have things planned in advance. They're like anchors and they're my guiding point, and then everything else works around that. And this is how I've been approaching business. I have foundations, I have non-negotiable things that happen all the time, like showing up for content every single day, sending emails, reaching out to people, connecting with people. These are non-negotiables. These are things I know have to happen. And then once I open and like doing work for my clients, and once I open my group program, I'm going to have that schedule that this is a non-negotiable. This is when I show up and I've committed to it. And I work around that because I've already done it to work around my life. And everything else flows. So I'm no longer scared to commit to holding a long-term group program because I know it will flow and shapeshift alongside my life. And not only have I experienced that in my own life, but I've witnessed it in group containers I've participated in recently. I've got real life examples of how this is possible. And so I have full confidence that I can do it too. I'm not scared anymore. And I know how to balance time zones and where to find good Wi-Fi and how to find beautiful Airbnbs to stay in that fit my aesthetic. And I know how to enjoy life and be so committed to my clients and business. I proved it when I was immersed in a festival. If I can still show up for clients when I'm dancing day and night, basking in the sunshine, making love and embracing life, then I know I can absolutely hold a community container. And I've always said I'm here to bridge worlds. I've often found myself confused on audience, on niche, on message, because I've been trying so hard to box myself in. But I know it's not me. It's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to show that we can have it all. We can build businesses that flow around our lives. We can do what we love. We can live passionately, vibrantly, artistically, and we don't have to burn our businesses to the ground every time we have an ego death. We set up the systems and foundations, and then everything works around us. I'm always going to have a business. Maybe the way it looks will change, but I know foundationally, when I have a business, there's certain things I need to do, and I will do them consistently all the time because it's just become ingrained in me. Maybe the message may tweak slightly, maybe the audience may shift slightly, but that's the flow, and that's the dance, and that's how the structures create the environment to allow for the flow. So when we go through an experience, and when I have an ego death, and when I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't think this is, and I have like these existential moments, I come back to it and go, well, hey, hang on, wait a minute. I still want to live this lifestyle. I still want to show up. I still want to serve. I still want to help people do this. I still want to do this. Like all of these things I still love doing. So maybe it's just this little tweak. Maybe it's not the whole business that needs to burn to the ground. Maybe I just need to shift it slightly, but the structure and foundation is still there. And so that's how the receptivity happens. And that's how the dance and the marriage happens between both sides, because we're always all of it, always moving, we're flowing and we're structured always. And by having those working together, it works really well. So this is what SSociety is about. If you've heard me whispering about it, it's about mastering the self and the systems to create your version of success and sovereignty, whatever that means to you. So if that's at all what you're desiring, then maybe I am the right fit for you. And